I'll be officiating this wedding as an ordained minister in the state of Illinois. Tabitha is one of my oldest friends, and in the interest of full disclosure, also my first girlfriend. It's weird, it's fine, we're moving on. Although, quick aside, 13-year-old me would be thrilled to know I'm marrying Tab right now. Anyway. I'm honored that Tabitha and Chris have asked me to be part of such a significant day in all of our lives. Today represents the culmination of a friendship and a relationship that has changed both Chris and Tabitha for the better. Through their care for each other, their support for one another, and their dedication to forming a life together, they have each made the other a stronger person. I'd like to start today with a brief moment of silent reflection to recognize those who are with us today, not in body, but in spirit. I call them to be with us in this moment and in this place, and to share the love and joy that leads us today. Thank you. Whew. Tab told me recently about the concept of the 3 great loves of your life. I thought it was really poignant and meaningful, so I shamelessly stole it for the wedding script. The story goes, while we may fall in love many times in our lives, there are 3 great loves that coincide with major turning points in our lives. They contribute to your story and help form the person that you are. The first great love of your life teaches you what it means to love. It's your first love, the kind of whirlwind love that you can only have when you're young. Everything is perfect sunshine and rainbows. The Disney fairy tale story that you've been taught your whole life is what love really means. You want so badly for this love to be the one, because you've never felt this way before. And because you're trying so hard to fit into those boxes, you ignore the sense that something is missing. In the end, it's an immature love. It's not meant to last, and when it ends, your perspectives are broadened for having loved and lost. Sorry about that, Tab. Tab confirmed I'm the first love. High five. Chris, do you have anything you want to say? Okay.
Yeah.
The second great love of your life teaches you how strong you are, because it's the tough love. Circumstances in our lives, culminations of past hurts, and the way we think about ourselves can lead us down a path to someone who takes advantage of the cracks in our foundation to worm their way in. In this relationship, making it last is more important than whether it should last at all. Walking away takes more strength than you knew you had. It forces you to realize your worth and make the decision to step away from relative safety because you know it's what you need to grow. And when this love ends, you're bloody but unbowed. The third love of your life is the one you don't see coming. It just clicks. You don't know why it works, but the laughs come easy. They don't undo all of the pain that was there before, but they give you a place to be safe and start to heal the damage that's been done. They're the one person you can spend all your time with and not have to go into your introvert cave and be alone for a few days, and that's unheard of. They accept us for who we are, not who we try to be. And that means everything. If the first love is about passion, and the second is about control, the third is about coming home. And that's what brings us here today. Okay, may I please have the rings? Please join hands, left to left and right to right. The couple have opted to honor their background by performing a hand-fasting ceremony. Hand-fasting is a tradition that dates back to medieval Scotland. As your hands are bound together by the cord, so too will your lives be bound in marriage. Chris, will you cause her pain?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No.
Tab, will you cause him pain?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No.
Will you both share each other's pain and seek to ease it?
We will.
Well. And so the binding is made. Chris, will you share her laughter?
I will.
Tab, will you share his laughter?
I will.
Will you both look for the brightness in life and seek out the positive in each other?
We will.
And so the binding is made. Chris, will you burden her?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No.
Tab, will you burden him?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No.
Will you both share your burdens so that each of you may grow in this union? We
We
will.
will.
And so the binding is made. Chris, will you share her dreams?
I will.
Tab, will you share his dreams?
I will.
And so the binding is made. Chris, will you cause her anger?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No. I forgot that one.
It's okay. Tab, will you cause him anger?
I may.
Is that your intent?
No.
Will you promise to never let your anger fester, and to never speak in anger what you would not say in friendship?
We will.
We will.
And so the binding is made. Chris, will you honor her?
I will.
Tab, will you honor him?
I will.
Do you promise to do nothing to break that honor?
We will.
We will.
The knots of this binding are not formed by this cord, but by the vows you have spoken to each other today. The rings have been described as a symbol of unending love, but that's a lame cliche, so I'm leaving it out of the wedding script. Whoops. Your rings are a physical reminder that you belong to each other, a reminder of the promises to each other that you've made today. They'll also keep you from being hit on at bars, which I'm sure Chris needs no help with. Tabitha, please place the ring on Chris's finger. Do you, Tabitha Buckner, promise Christopher Mather to trust and respect him and take him as your partner for the rest of your life, to make him laugh but let him cry? Do you promise to forgive him when he inevitably fucks up, to work every day to be worthy of his love and to be his friend above all else?
I do.
Do you, Chris Mather, promise Tabitha Buckner to trust and respect her and to take her as your partner for the rest of her life, to make her laugh but let her cry? Do you promise to forgive her when she inevitably fucks up, to work every day to be worthy of her love, and to be her friend above all else?
I do.
Okay, good. And do you recognize that if you do anything to willfully hurt her, each and every one of these girls up here can and will disappear you and have no problem going back to jail?
Wait, what?
He does.
I can't
Okay.
go back to jail.
That's fine. Before we end here today, I want to be selfish for a minute and read something that I ran across recently that made me think about Tab and Chris. Oh, also, yes, put the ring on.
Skip
Yeah.
that part.
Sorry, it's fine. Okay, all good. All good?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I want to read something I ran across recently that made me think of these two. It's by the poet James Kavanaugh, and it's really short, so don't lose your mind for like 2 more minutes before I make them officially married. To love is not to possess, to own, or imprison, nor to lose oneself in another. Love is to join and separate, to walk alone and together, to find a lapping freedom that lonely isolation does not permit. It is finally to be able to be who we really are. No longer clinging in childish dependency, nor docilely living separate lives in silence. It is to be perfectly oneself, and perfectly joined in permanent commitment to another, and to one's inner self. Love only endures when it moves like waves, receding and returning gently or passionately, or moving lovingly like the tide, in the moon's own predictable harmony. Because finally, despite a child's scars, or an adult's deepest wounds, they are openly free to be who they really are, and always secretly were, in the very core of their being, where true and lasting love can alone abide. Family and friends, both here and the thereafter, It is my absolute pleasure to present to you, by the power vested in me by the state of Illinois and the Universal Life Church of Online, Mr. and Mrs. Chris and Tabitha Mather. Now kiss the bride so we can all do it.
You may throw my hat, Mr. Griffin. Good, now go get it.
Now go get it. It's very hot out here. It's very hot out here.
Thank you, I guess. I don't know how to edit. Now I guess we walk off, but we gotta do pictures now.
Yeah, so we're just gonna walk through.
And then we'll go, and then Kat, you and Mike, I think.
Off we go. Got the seats in?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully.
Ready?
Oh my god!
Okay, I guess. Is that as far as we have to walk?
I'm good. Yeah! I'm good, how are you?
Happy?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yes, you too.
I remember you at Sydney.
No. That's good. Oh, I didn't want to touch anything. That's what actually is.
I think so.
Excuse me, sir.
You want to swap lenses for something wide or something, or what?
Yeah.
Like, how wide do you want? Like, full on wide? Like,
Fish eye wide. Up to you, Chris.